Welcome to the second video of the 20 Laws of Masculine. And this video, we're going over law number 2, which is the law of the unshakable frame. See, a lot of guys today, they fold under pressure. As a coach, I've never seen so many athletes crumble in the face of adversity so easily. I mean, they fold like paper airplanes, like wrapping paper these days. I see too many couples, the men going tit for tat with women, their wife, their girlfriend, and it's like they just have no frame anymore. They're not calm under chaos. So if you want to be in your full divine masculine, you want to be the strong leader that's worth following, this is a law that you're definitely going to want to learn about and apply it ASAP. Michael Jordan, one of my favorite, let me take that back, is my favorite athlete of all time. I grew up in Chicago area during the Bulls championship run. Everything was about the Bulls in that era. Michael Jordan was my favorite basketball player, still my favorite athlete of all time, even though I didn't play organized basketball. That's just the impact that Mike had on my life. And we hear all the Jordan stories of the talent, the skill, the work ethic, the discipline, the gambling. Mike's stories are the best, right? I love listening to people talk about Michael Jordan stories. One of my favorite stories, and it's a perfect example of frame, is what they call the flu game in the 1997 NBA Finals versus the Utah Jazz. Now, they say it was the flu, but Tim Grover told me in a private conversation when I met him years ago, and he said on the Last Dance documentary that it was actually, he believes it was food poisoning. Nonetheless, in life, you're going to always be tested, period. And this is why frame is so important. And Michael Jordan was tested in this moment. All right, quick backstory for those who may not be familiar with what happened leading up to that game. It was late at night. Mike was hungry. He ordered pizza from the one pizza location that was still open. They were in Utah, probably not a lot of places that are open late in Salt Lake City, Utah. So he found a place that was open. He ordered. Now, I'm sure the pizza place knew it's probably where the NBA players were staying at, right, while they were there for the finals in Utah. Nonetheless, 4 guys show up at the door to deliver the pizza. And Tim said, I don't trust these guys. I got a bad feeling about this. Well, Mike was hungry, ate it anyways. 2 hours later, projectile vomiting. He was in a fetal position. I mean, he was in really, really bad shape. They had to get doctors into the room. They didn't want to take him to the hospital, so they got doctors and nurses to come to the room. They were giving him IVs and working on him. Tim said there's no way they thought he was going to be able to play. Like, he was in bad, bad shape. I'll think of the timing, right? NBA Finals, Utah Jazz were the best team in the NBA at the time. You're on the road, and here you are with crippling food poisoning. Now, I've had food poisoning before. It is brutal. You don't want to do anything. So you talk about the ultimate test of will, of frame. But MJ, being a competitor that he is, he showed up. He showed up, and he started the game a little bit slow. You could just see the effect of the dehydration and just being sick. But Mike just had that frame about him, that unshakable frame. And when that switch flipped, that competitive switch in him, he overrode all of that, all the discomfort. His body failed him, and he wound up playing one of the best games in NBA Finals history. Dropped 38 points. The Bulls win a tough game on the road. Mike can barely stand on the, during timeouts. I mean, he's got a towel over his head. They're trying to keep him hydrated. Can't keep anything down. He's weak. But when he had to show up, unshakable. He was the man. They still couldn't stop him. Michael Jordan, with food poison or flu, whatever it was, still couldn't be shook on the highest stage in one of the key moments in the playoffs. That is frame. Take it outside of sports, because you're going to be tested in anything in life. If you want to accomplish something, whether it's you want to make a lot of money, whether you want to build a business, whether you want to be married, whether you want to play sports, regardless, as a man, you will be tested. And those who have that unshakable frame are the ones who come out on top. Anybody who's ever achieved anything great, they have that unshakable frame about them. That is masculine embodiment. You can't be shook off your core. And the ultimate test of that is with your girlfriend or your wife. Women will definitely test you because that's what they're here for. They show us where we may be falling short, or we may be complacent, or we need to level up. And most men fail the test. They fail it. And therefore, we fail the test. She doesn't feel safe. So she tests harder and harder. We keep failing the test. We keep failing the test. And so ultimately the relationship ends. Women will always test us. But a man who can maintain his frame gets the loving, healthy relationship, gets the submissive wife, gets the intimacy, all of that, because he can't be shaken, regardless of her emotional mood swings, regardless of her feelings, regardless if she pulls her energy back or not. And that's so important. And that's what I try to teach a lot of young guys that I mentor, is that you want to be so in your frame and so confident within you. Going back to law number one, the law of the inner kingdom, you are so embodied in you and your skill set and your confidence and your work that you cannot be shaken by the outside world. But if you don't apply law number one, your inner world's chaotic, well then you're not going to be able to have frame, because any little thing will pull you out of frame and things aren't going to go very well for you. Definitely in your relationship. But you could be calm under the chaos, forged in the fire. Look at each of these challenges as opportunities to level up and not be so sensitive about it, not have a victim mentality. You will come out on top, and you will level up, and you will get the girl, the intimacy, the money, whatever it is that you're working towards. But you have to pass the test. You're not going to pass it with weak frame. Okay. Now, how do you get stronger in your frame? Again, go back to law number one, own your inner world, understand where your triggers are coming from. So some subconscious reprogramming and central nervous system regulation. Another tip I like to tell men is get into some sort of combat training. Nothing has helped me more with maintaining frame than doing Krav Maga. Being face-to-face with a guy who's trying to knock you out, who's trying to submit you, they're punching, they're kicking, they're elbowing, they're striking. You have to be in frame, because if you lose frame, you're getting knocked out. Period. Combat training trains you to be so present in a chaotic environment, to do what you need to do, that anything outside of that, which is not going to cause you any physical harm, is very easy to deal with. And me personally, just in my relationship, my lady, she jokes all the time how she'll go on these rants sometimes. She just goes, "Hey, Jimmy, just be letting me just go off, and I just be rambling and ranting, and and I get done, and he's just looking at me with a little smile on his face, and like, you done?" He gives me a hug. But he's my grounding man. That's what she called me, her grounding man, because when she gets worked up or she works herself up, she knows she can come to me and I'll bring her down with my essence. Frame, unshakable frame. You get the frame, watch how many great things happen in your life. If you got value out of this video, make sure that you like it, comment below. Most importantly, share it with somebody, because somebody you know needs to hear this message. Also, if you want to go deeper, I have a school community. Click the link in the caption. We have live Q&As where we go deeper on these topics, just giving you the resources that you need to tap into your supernatural strength so you could be in the full masculine essence that you were born to be. Till next time, guys.